Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading for Wednesday. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for all the new people on board and for all the people that have been with me along the way. Thank you for joining me and supporting me. If you are interested in a personal reading or gifting to the channel, please refer to the information below the video. If you need any additional information, I'm happy for you to email me. I don't have an issue with that. If you are interested in the coaching program, and I do know a couple of people have bought the coaching program for people for Christmas, which I think is an amazing thing to do. If you're interested in, I'm still honouring the half prices up until Christmas time, and after that it goes back to its normal price. It's been very successful. I will post a few more testimonials because I think it's really interesting to see how people have found it in a short space of time. Okay. It is something I'm really passionate about. I mean, I love doing the readings and I love doing the work I do, but there's something about the coaching that is pretty incredible. And really, I don't have to do very much. It's crazy, but people really get a lot out of their own validation and trusting their own direction, trusting themselves. All right, I'm going to use the Before Tarot for your reading today. I just felt like I wanted to use something different. Oh, I'm going live on YouTube today. I'm going to do a super chat. So if you're interested in just picking up a question, that will be at 12 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Friday I will be on Instagram, and Saturday morning at 10:30, I think, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, I'm doing mini card reads on Facebook. So if you're interested in joining us for that, whip over to the Aussie Goddess Facebook page and like the page so you can join us on Saturday morning. Not that I get round to everybody, but I get a fair whack of people done in an hour, believe me. All right, they're only mini reads. They're just a little... You can ask a question if you need to too. Alrighty. Let's get into your reading. Before Tarot. Oh, what a great way to start the day. I love this. So we have the Magician coming forward. Now, the Magician is a card that talks of manifestation. He's the master manifester. When this card comes in on a reading, what it's saying to you is you have the tools and the power to do what you need to do at this time. You're very powerful. Not that you aren't all the time, but this is just reassuring you. If you want to start something new, if you want to, for example, start a new business, look for new love, anything that you want to do at this time, the Magician's saying you've got the tools to do it. So it could be that you're ready to start a new endeavor, a new business, a new job. You could be ready to find new love. You could be ready to get yourself out into the world again. It may be that you're doing something like, counseling, coaching, something like that. You may be ready to do some work on yourself here. Whatever it is, it's time. All right, so there is something here that has been playing in your mind for some time. And I feel like here with the Magician, you're making this sort of, I want to say concerted effort, like directed effort to really change something. And I strongly believe, seeing the Five of Wands, that this is something you want to change about yourself. It could be something to do with the way you think, something to do with the way that you are. It could be that you want a physical makeover. Whatever this is, for me, this is about understanding that now's the time to work on what you need to work on. This may be just your internal workings. I mean, you could be deliberating on whether to do a course as well. Educate. Okay, so I have the Page of Wands coming through here, and I really like this. Wow, okay. The cards are a little different with the Before Tarot because the swords haven't quite gone into the heart here. So I'm like, okay, I need to wait till I get there. The Page of Wands talks about, I feel like here you're applying for something. You may be calling people, you may be putting energy out there about something you need. So you might need a particular thing to help you get started on this new journey. And it's like you're putting out to the universe what you want here. So maybe you're looking, for example, a particular course, and you're waiting for something to bring something in here. Somebody perhaps to bring something in to help you move forward here. The Three of Swords talks about heartbreak and hurt and pain. Okay, now I'm getting where you're going with this. All right. This is what you're learning. Okay, so some of you are coming to a realization here of what you need to learn about yourself, about your situation, so you do not fall into a pattern again with that Three of Swords. So it's like you're trying to seek out advice, counsel, mentorship, whatever it is for you. You're seeking out something here to enable you to move forward on your journey without enduring the same sort of situations that you've been through before. So maybe, for example, you've had a lot of heartache and pain in relationships, and you are finally realizing that you have a part to play in that, and you're trying to understand what do you need to work on to be able to finally tune yourself so you can have what you want. And I feel like you're trying to manifest, or you may have been trying to manifest before, but something wasn't happening for you here. Something was just going sort of awry. It just was hit and miss. And you may have found that you were cycling. And we've talked about this a lot, this cycling thing, this energy of going round and round. And there is something here that says to me that you have been trying to understand why this pattern occurs. Why am I doing this? Why do I keep repeating something here? Because there's mental conflict here. So I feel like you're going out trying to understand, who do you need to contact? Who do you need to speak to? Do I need a counselor? Do I need a psychic reading? Do I need to speak to someone that can help me just understand my own limitations? Because I don't want to get hurt again, right? This is why the sword's not in there yet. I don't want to get hurt again. I want to get on my journey. I want to understand what part of me needs to input here. Why am I not manifesting with the universe in a way that's bringing me what I want here? So it's like understanding that there's a new step or another step. Now, I really feel what Spirit is trying to say here, that you may not have seen this before. So it may have been something in your subconscious or something deep within you that you haven't addressed before because you haven't really known what it is. But now it's being raised to the surface. I can see it bubbling to the surface. So it's like you're to the point now where you need to address this so that you can co-create. Now we do have the Five of Swords here with the Sun. So for some of you here, there may have been some sort of situation that's occurred to help you to understand now what you need to do to move forward. So something could have happened in the recent past for you to say, okay, I get it now. I get what I'm doing. I understand what the universe is trying to show me. And now I need to go back and work on this. For some of you, it may be in relationships, but for others of you, this could be in the way your jobs pan out or your work pans out. And I feel that, a lot of people who are understanding how they manifest the same thing over and over again, because they're not manifesting what they need in their lives. Let me just try and get into this energy. It's like you're manifesting the same thing over and over again because you're not seeing, like I always say, the glitch in the system. So say, for example, your self-esteem is not as healthy as it needs to be. Perhaps you're a little bit self-conscious, you lack a bit of self-esteem, you're not confident. So you keep trying to manifest while you still have that energy within you. So it means that you're not vibrating where you need to be. So what you keep doing is you keep vibrating to the same level as the things you've been bringing in, because you're not understanding that subconsciously you're still not vibrating where you need to be. So you keep repeating the same thing. So for example, If you believe that you don't deserve a really good relationship, if you believe that you don't deserve to have someone who's going to treat you really well, and this may be subconsciously, then you're going to keep pulling in the people who don't, because subconsciously you believe you can't have what you want. And the universe is saying here, now you're understanding your pattern. You're understanding, you're seeing this cycle of what you're doing. Now you can address it. But I don't think you would have seen this before. I think you had to do some growth to get yourself to this point where you're understanding what you're capable of, how much power you truly do have. And we know that because we have the magician here. And the magician is someone who can manifest what they want. But you've got to be in the energy of the magician to do that. So I feel like a lot of you are understanding that you have some sort of glitch in your fabric, some sort of belief or way of doing things, a way of seeing yourself in the world that is creating something over and over again, and you're not quite understanding it. But it feels like a lot of you are coming into realization now about how to work with this. And I have the Nine of Wands, which is absolutely perfect here. The Nine of Wands is the card of the wounded warrior. And what it talks about is like constantly going through something, but not really understanding why you're doing what you're doing, but you keep getting hurt. So there's pain here. That's why he is wounded. I'm looking at this and thinking, for some of you here, this is about relationships for sure, because I always think of the wolf in sheep's clothing when I look at this. And I know somebody will comment on that because it is something that we have got quite used to over time. So it's possible here that you keep pulling in people who do not have your best interest at heart, who can't love you back. It's impossible for them to love you back. But you keep pulling them in. They're the emotionally unavailable, the narcissistic people, or the people with narcissistic tendencies. Let's not call them narcissists. So what we have here is you repeating some sort of pattern here. And what happens is when you start repeating this pattern, you start to put your walls up, you start to close your heart off. And then what happens then is you're vibrating lower than you should be. So you keep repeating the pattern. And we see it so many times when people leave somebody and they move into a new relationship without doing the healing, and bang, same person comes in, different face. This is what you're doing at the moment. Now, this could be with work too, because I hear people say, you know, I move jobs, I change jobs, and I move into the next job, and here I am getting bullied again, and I don't understand why. That's why. So you've got big learning to do here. Big learning. A lot of healing coming through. All right, so we have the Three of Pentacles coming through here. Wow, with the Page of Swords. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to say to you is when everybody says about this cycle that's going to close down, you are on the edge of the circle. Okay, you've done the learning you needed to do to get to this point. You are now ready to have this last lot. This is the last learning thing that you need to do, because you are pulling in true love here. It is on its way. There is definitely here. I actually think you're already manifesting this. You just need to be ready when it hits your doorstep, basically. And I can see that you're trying to work out here how to this is taking the next step on your journey. You're looking at things here from a much higher perspective and starting to understand. There's some sort of research being done here. You're looking for something. You're trying to find the last step you need to take on your journey here to complete some sort of project. And I feel like this project is your own work. I feel like this is almost like, because this card always has this very religious feel to me, and I feel like it's like Michelangelo and painting the ceiling, like you've got to finalize something here. It's like you are finishing off your own artwork. Beautiful. All right, so we have the Devil energy here. This has something to do with, wow, okay, getting your power back. Holy dooly, we have a King of Cups here. All right. So for some of you, this is codependent patterns. For others of you, this is ego patterns. Now, when we talk about the ego, I always think we forget that we need an ego. Ego is part of who we need to be. It's our protection. It's who we are in the world. An healthy ego is a very, very good thing. We would not survive without it. The unhealthy ego, on the other hand, is very much against what you want. It's the unhealthy part that holds you back from being who you truly are. It's your part of your shadow side. There is something here that is holding you back from having what you want. And now the universe is saying to you, you're very close to discovering this, because you're about to step into your power here. You're about to step into something here, something new. Possibly with a water sign here, being that you have the Ace of Cups over the King of Cups. It's possible you could have someone coming in here. But what really stands out for me is whoever this person is has the same level of love for you as what you have for them. So this is a reciprocated relationship. It's not one of those relationships perhaps you've had before. For those of you that this is a work situation, I want to say to you, you can do this at your current workplace. If you feel that you are being manipulated or bullied in some way, shape or form, it's time for you to understand this last lesson so that you can move on to the next cycle of learning. Because you are taking your power back here and letting go of this fear, or letting go of these restraints, these chains that have held you in place for so long. You can keep running away from them, but they'll just keep coming back. If you're not addressing them, they will just keep returning over and over. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups coming through with the Hanged Man, looking at things from a different perspective here. Three of Swords, waiting for your ships to come in. Beautiful energy. So this is very much this energy of going inside, really, to see things differently. Perhaps you've worked a lot on yourself. Perhaps you've understood a great deal about yourself. But this is like the final step on the step ladder. It's really, this last step is going to really show you who you are and what you are capable of, because you're standing in the shoes of the Emperor here. And this is about just really recognizing something that you've been doing. It may come across, let me just have a look, because here it looks like for some of you this is going to come through love. But I feel like for others of you it's about discovering something. It's about like seeing something for the first time. It's almost like the Tower, but I don't have the Tower here. Okay, so we have the Magician coming through. So the universe is saying you actually have all the tools you need, but you keep looking outside yourself for them. So you just need someone to help you identify some sort of conflict here. I feel like there's a fear of moving forward here. You are researching because you don't want to move into another situation where this is happening again, where you're not receiving love in a way that you need to. There seems to be some sort of situation that you've moved away from. Perhaps you've had this situation now that's finally opened your eyes to something that you are, I don't want to say doing wrongly. Perhaps you've learned to do this a certain way, but now you're realizing, if it's love or work or, you know, something to do with yourself, you're realizing how to do it differently. You're seeing it differently here. Something is being shown to you that's showing it differently. These cards have already come out. That's quite interesting. The Page and the Five of Wands. It's like your higher self is communicating something to you. That's what I want to say. It's like something is just showing you. It's almost like you're being drawn. You're being shown what you've been doing up until now that hasn't been serving you. And it's been sending you on this cycle. Let's just see. Okay, there's the end of the cycle. See, it's got something to do with the negative thinking about yourself. Okay, intuition, something hidden. Okay, I have a feeling it's got something very strongly to do. We have the Temperance card coming through. Okay, the Eight of Cups. This is really interesting. Okay, and the Moon card. I'm going to take one more. I've got the Hermit. Beautiful. You've got three major arcanas to clarify here. There is a need for you to find balance within yourself. And what this says to me is you may be the type of person who makes up your mind to do something, but then talks yourself out of it, but then decides you're going to do it, but then you talk yourself out of it, and then you decide to do it and you talk yourself out of it. If you're in this sort of anxious mindset, what you're in fact doing is you're confusing the universe for a start, because they're like, what do you want? Okay. What do you want? Okay. So you're not being clear with manifestation. That's the first thing. But the second thing is this self-doubt. This self-doubt that you have, where you're not really sticking with something. And when the balance card comes in, when temperance card comes in, she says, you need to be very clear about what you want and you need to stick with it. And once you've put your manifestation out, you need to understand it's waiting, it's patience, but it will come. But somehow in this time, in this patience, when it doesn't come to you when you want it, you start to get erratic. It's not going to happen. This isn't going to come to me. And you start to do that energy. And what you're in fact doing is you're making yourself doubt that the universe is supporting you, but the universe is not sure what you want. So it's like you're creating this cycle. So what happens is you end up pulling in or trying to pull in something quicker or something that satisfies you in a short period of time rather than waiting for what's right for you. You need to move away from this energy. It is not serving you at all. This is 8 of Cups energy, not serving you. Move on, get away from it. Learn how to be the magician. Learn how to ask for something and leave it with the universe. Because not everything is going to be shown to you when you want to see it. It's not going to happen. Don't become impatient and then doubt that it's happening. When you get into these energies, best to just do the hermit. If you're waiting for something and you're unsure, rather than lose faith, rather than let something go, if you know that you want it and you know it's with you, then just stick with that. Make sure you're in this energy. Keep focused. Keep your eye on the prize. Remember, it's destined. All right, we have gone way over time with this one, but I wanted to make sure you got plenty of information there. I like to think that I've given you some tools at least to work with that. All right, we're going to have a quick psychic tarot. Quick psychic tarot. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Hey, there it is. Oh, build a firm foundation. There you go, folks. Didn't that come beautifully in? I love it. All right. He's got a nice back too. Okay. I was talking to someone about my woodsman yesterday with the 6-pack. You know who you are. I love how I impact you with the really important things. That makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? 79. I'm glad we know what our priorities are. This card denotes that you've already or currently working towards establishing a solid foundation in the material world. Using good judgment and heeding lessons from the past concerning financial matters will assist you in laying a firm groundwork. By doing so, security will have a better chance of building in the future. The material power that's now around you can be either an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how you respond to it. Don't let your current position determine who you are. Remember to give back and prime the pump of prosperity, for true spiritual and material wealth is as much about giving as it is receiving. Seek proper investment advice and realize that you don't have to hold on to your possessions too tightly. Just be flexible and allow things to continue to flow. Now, I feel like for this card coming out, this is about you not having a firm foundation, but learning that that's what it's going to take. Whether this is spiritually or materially, it's about you understanding how to build a firm foundation. And that's what I said. It has that whole feeling of the tower. Just remember this. Have a great day.